Good evening. Welcome to part 1 of the video titled Global Sovereign Debt Crisis, a ticking time bomb. I repeat, Global Sovereign Debt Crisis, a ticking time bomb. You must be thinking that what kind of topic it is. But before I continue, let me first show you something. I collated the data from this research report, which is by Janus Henderson Sovereign Debt Index. I repeat, Janus Henderson Sovereign Debt Index. This report is available on the internet, but unfortunately, the hard reality of the life is we spare thousands of dollars every year. Sorry, globally, we spared millions of dollars every year on degrees like certified financial analyst, don't say chartered financial analyst or a charter financial analyst, certified financial analyst, FRM, GARP, chartered accountant, and many such degrees, but we never learn what exactly it is required in the life. And this creates a gap which, technically speaking, is known as industry academic gap. As the life is progressing, the industry academic gap is growing. And this is the reason when the industry hired, they will give a training to that candidate. Even if when the big banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, they hired any candidate from IMs, they put them on interns. They put them on a training. Because you know that what kind of program is being taught in these business schools. You know that. But anyways, the world economy, as we speak, is facing multiple challenges. In March 2022, rather, I would say in mid of March 2022. And these challenges are growing. Growing in the sense like now we have Russia-Ukraine war. The issue between US and China is already live. China versus Taiwan. Iran nuclear deal. North Korea weaponization, missiles and all these kind of stuff. Rising dependency on the oil. The so-called hype, artificial intelligence is no more. Machine learning is no more. And many such issues. But one biggest issue which is already covered up by the paid, sold and corrupt media is the issue of debt. And unfortunately, in the last 2 years, and I openly say that, I hardly bothers. In the last 2 years, I have noticed international media organizations like CNN, BBC, Bloomberg, I don't know, either they are instructed or they don't have the guts, or maybe they have their own priorities not to cover the issue, but they rarely bothered to cover the debt crisis. Like, let's take an example of all three, CNN, BBC, and Bloomberg, United States plus European Central Bank plus People Bank of China plus Bank of England plus Bank of Japan, the five central banks, the top five central banks, they are standing at a balance sheet together, I'd say, of near about $35 trillion. 35. And I don't think that even a 10th fail person can say that $35 trillion is a small figure. I don't think so. He can say that. 35 trillion is not a small figure. It's a big figure. But there is hardly any attention as far as the debt crisis is concerned. Hardly any attention. And unfortunately, what is happening, this debt is now ballooning up. And I collated the data from this, the Janus Henderson research report on the Google. And I'm reading this very, very carefully. Rather, I am searching for similar reports on the internet and trying to upgrade with the latest facts and figures. Because we should be thankful. I would say we should be thankful to these hedge funds, those who are doing enough research, but unfortunately no one pay any attention to them. And this is really tragic. So in this video, I would like to thank you, the Janus Henderson, for providing us a kind of statistics which is really not available. And they compiled these statistics in one report, which is really a handy report, I would say. I am done with almost 50% of the report. But yes, practically speaking, I am going more, and similar kind of videos are coming. Now, if I go with this report, which is by Janus Henderson, and the statistics, the report is as of April 2021. Now, the very starking fact which is coming in this report, which you can see here, that I never read report only for the sake of formality. I read report when I get some statistics and I take a note using my pen. Because in later stages also, you will make a lot of sense out of it. A very stark thing which I got is in 2019, which means around 2.5 years, the global sovereign debt was 53.3 trillion. 53.3 trillion. Which rose to 62.5 trillion. What the hell? 9 trillion. 9 trillion. When I read this report, I was like, what the hell? 9 trillion you're talking. It means as we speak, the sovereign debt in 2020 is near about 62.5 trillion. 62.5 trillion. And this is 2020 figures, because I completely appreciate Janus Henderson. It is very difficult to compile the figures on a monthly note. I completely agree because central banks do not provide the data. They do not provide the data. Hence, compilation and analytics is a difficult job. I tend to agree with this. But 2020 is not an old figure, it's a pretty latest figure, we can say. And here the figure coming is 62.5 trillion, which is near about 21 times of the Indian GDP, you can say. Around 4.5 times of China GDP, and near about 3.5 times of US GDP. Shocking numbers. See you in the part 2 of the video.